This just might be the moment the WNBA snapped. Rumors are everywhere right now. Jacy Sheldon and Marina Mabrey have reportedly been suspended for their vicious attack on Caitlin Clark. Fans watched it unfold: an eye poke, a full-on shove, and zero protection for the league's biggest star. But here's the twist. Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner, finally opened her eyes.
So lads, today the referees gave the report on the situation, and it's even worse. It's even worse than I imagined, and it was pretty grim.
After weeks of staying silent, she's now scrambling to fix the chaos. Was it the fan backlash, the media pressure, or is the league just trying to save face? Either way, something's going down, and the internet's already calling it too little, too late. So now the league cares? After Caitlin Clark gets poked, slammed, and disrespected on national TV, suddenly suspensions are flying? This might just be the WNBA's way of saying, oops, our bad. All right, let's rewind. It's the fourth quarter. Game is tight. The pace is picking up. Emotions are high. Caitlin Clark cuts through the lane like she always does, eyes locked in, reading the defense, and suddenly, boom, Jacy Sheldon just claws her straight in the eye. You can literally see Clark flinch and grab her face instantly. And here's the thing, this wasn't some accident. It wasn't incidental contact. There was no attempt at the ball. It looked personal. Then, instead of backing off, Sheldon goes chest to chest with Clark and gives her a hard bump. Again, ball's not even in play. This isn't defense. This is intimidation. Clark does what anyone would do, tries to push off and create space. She's not trying to start anything. She's just trying to finish the game. But that's when Marina Mabrey charges in like she's playing linebacker and shoves Clark to the ground into the referee. Like full body momentum, out of nowhere. How is that not an instant flagrant 2? Why was Caitlin the one who got a technical? It's like the officials were watching a different game. Let's talk about the officials for a second because honestly, this entire thing spiraled out of control the second they failed to make the right call. Let's start with Jacy Sheldon. The league admitted she had a wind-up, hit Clark in the face, and that the contact was unnecessary with potential for injury. That's literally the checklist for a flagrant 2. So, why'd they give her a flagrant 1? And then Marina Mabrey? Her shove was wild. It came after the whistle while Caitlin was vulnerable, holding her eye. She sent her crashing into a referee, but the league said, and I quote, "It didn't rise to the level of ejection." Excuse me?
It was a wind-up, and it was to the face. The three of them that is a flagrant 2. By definition, you've described a flagrant 2. Unnecessary contact. Wind-up and unnecessary. The two of those can be a flagrant 2. And face. You have described why was it a flagrant 2. You have just described a flagrant 2 as your answer for why it was upgraded to a flagrant 1. You have just described the flagrant 2. What went into deciding Marina Mabrey should get a technical foul instead of something more severe? The contact made by Mabrey did not rise to the level of an ejection. Additionally, it did not meet the criteria for flagrant penalty 2. Like what exactly, did not rise to the level of an ejection? I'm sorry, what? Did she have to have, for it to be a level of an ejection, did she have to injure Caitlin? Or did she have to injure the referee? She almost went through the ref's knee, by the way.
What exactly does someone have to do to get ejected in the WNBA? Send someone to the hospital? And here's the cherry on top. Caitlin Clark got a tech for reacting, for holding her face, for trying not to fight back. Make it make sense. This wasn't just bad officiating. This was dangerous. The refs completely lost control of the game, and it showed. Within minutes of the final whistle, clips were flying all over the internet. Slow motion replays, breakdown videos, zoom-ins on the eye poke, freeze frames of the shove, and the comment sections, oh man, they were on fire. Fans weren't just mad, they were furious. Everyone from casual watchers to die-hard WNBA fans were asking the same thing. Why is nobody protecting Caitlin Clark? And this wasn't the first time. She's been getting fouled hard since day one. Trash-talked, shoved, targeted. But this time, it hit differently. Because the whole thing was caught on camera and it was ugly. Even NBA players started tweeting. Sports shows picked it up. And before you knew it, the WNBA couldn't stay quiet anymore. That's when they dropped the hammer. Jacy Sheldon and Marina Mabrey both suspended. But here's the question. Would the league have done anything if the internet hadn't lost it? Or would this have been swept under the rug like every other time? You know who stayed completely silent while all this chaos was going down? Cathy Engelbert. Yeah, the WNBA commissioner. The one who's supposed to be the voice of reason. The one who's supposed to lead when the league is in crisis. And yet, crickets. Not a word when Caitlin Clark got elbowed in the face. Nothing when she got slammed into the floor. Just silence like Cathy was out on vacation while the league was burning down. But now after social media blew up, after ESPN showed the eye poke on repeat, after fans started chanting, "Protect Clark," Cathy suddenly wakes up. Now she wants to act like she cares. Now she's making statements. Now she's reviewing footage and handing out suspensions. Where was all that energy when it actually mattered? It feels like she's less of a commissioner and more of a firefighter, trying to put out flames she let spread for way too long. This ain't leadership. It's PR panic mode. The fans aren't fooled. The players see right through it. And let's be real, Caitlin Clark probably rolled her eyes reading that statement. So the real question is, does Cathy actually care? Or is she just trying to cover up the mess she let happen? Now let's talk about the only person who actually stood up during the game, Sophie Cunningham. Because when the refs refused to protect Caitlin and the league was snoozing, Sophie said, "Enough." Late in the game, she went straight at Jacy Sheldon. And I mean straight at her. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't reckless. It was a message. You mess with Caitlin, you mess with me. Sophie got ejected, sure. But let's be honest, she earned her stripes that night. She did what teammates are supposed to do. She had her back. And guess what? After that, nobody laid a finger on Clark for the rest of the game. Sometimes you need someone to draw a line in the sand. And Sophie did it in bold marker. Is she the hero of this story? That's up for debate. But she sure as hell wasn't the villain. This whole situation is a wake-up call not just for the refs, but for the entire WNBA. Because if you can't protect your biggest star, what are we doing here? Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player. She's the reason fans are filling arenas, the reason jerseys are flying off shelves, the reason TV ratings are going up. She's changing the league, and yet she's being treated like a punching bag. This isn't about favoritism. This is about safety, about respect, about keeping the game clean and fair. And right now, the league's reputation is on the line. So what happens next? Do they start taking protection seriously? Or is this just another headline that fades in a week? Let me say this loud and clear. The fans aren't stupid. They saw the eye poke. They saw the shove. They saw the league wait until the internet forced their hand. And now, fans are speaking louder than ever. Protect Clark is trending. People are boycotting games. Comment sections are flooded with angry takes. And this isn't just Fever fans. This is league-wide. Even fans of opposing teams are saying this went too far. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. A league where the best players can shine without being targeted. You can be physical. You can play tough defense. But when you're poking eyes and tackling players off ball, that's not hoop. That's nonsense. And fans are demanding better. Let's talk worst case scenario. What if the league doesn't fix this? What if the next game Clark plays, she gets hacked again? Another flagrant, another cheap shot? Another ref looking the other way? Eventually, Clark's gonna say enough. She's got options, overseas, endorsements. She doesn't need this league as much as the league needs her. And if she ever decides to walk away, oh man, that would be catastrophic. You'd lose ticket sales, viewership, relevance. So if you're the WNBA, you better listen. Because this isn't just about one player. It's about every little girl watching Caitlin Clark and asking, is that how they treat stars in this league? This wasn't just a suspension, and it definitely wasn't just another rough game. This was a full-blown turning point, a moment that could shape the future of the entire league. Caitlin Clark, the face of the WNBA's next generation, got straight-up attacked on live TV. Sophie Cunningham had to step in and defend her because no one else, not the refs, not the league, was doing a thing. The officials lost control. The league panicked. And fans? Oh, they made their voices heard. This wasn't a one-time incident. It exposed everything that's been bubbling under the surface. The weak officiating, the silence from the top, and the disrespect aimed at the one player who's brought in more fans, views, and ticket sales than the league's seen in years. But maybe this is the wake-up call the WNBA desperately needed. Maybe now people pay attention. The refs start calling it fair. The league finally realizes that you can't just let your stars get jumped and expect everything to be okay. Because let's be real, you can't build the future of your league while standing by and letting your biggest draw get hit in the face, shoved to the floor, and blamed for it. And there you have it. If this whole mess doesn't scream do better, I don't know what does. The WNBA just got caught with its hands off the wheel again. Caitlin Clark gets assaulted mid-game, the refs go blind, and the league waits until the internet explodes before doing anything. Like, really? Kathy Engelbert finally decides to act after the entire basketball world puts her on blast? Come on, that's not leadership, that's damage control with a sprinkle of fake urgency. But here's the thing, fans aren't dumb. We saw it, we felt it, and we're not letting it slide. Because if this league wants to grow, if it wants to be taken seriously, it can't keep treating its biggest star like she's disposable. So, yeah. Maybe this is the breaking point. Maybe this is where the WNBA wakes up for real this time. But if not, don't be surprised when the fans, the sponsors, and maybe even Caitlin herself say, enough. Now, let me know in the comments, do you think the suspensions were real accountability? Or just a PR stunt to cool the flames?